Lately, Valorant's UI has become a little bit crowded. With the new game modes and features, it's definitely come a long way since its launch back in 2020, but with that being said, they still insist on keeping the old UI since, that's what people are used to. Sure, they added a home screen that kind of looks like Overwatch's, it really looks like Overwatch's, but that's pretty much the only significant change they made to the UI. And I have a problem with that. With the new features like Esports Hub or Premiere, the main screen became so crowded, as if playing Valorant wasn't already a headache enough. When I look at the UI, it makes me even angrier before I start a queue. So I'm gonna fix it. If any Riot devs see this, please, for the love of God, fix the UI. My small ADHD brain can't handle so many words and icons on my screen when all I want to do is queue comp and lose my elo. Take some advice from this video, take some inspiration from this video, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, let's just get started. I wanted to start with an easier screen because the main screen is kind of too intimidating for me. So, there are 22 agents in the game right now. 6 initiators, 6 duelists, 5 controllers, and 5 sentinels. If you're a normal person looking at this agent select screen, you probably would just insta-lock jet because you're a normal person would look at this and not really think too much about it, right? Well, when I look at the screen, I can't help but want to rearrange the agents to their respective roles. From how it's arranged now, it seems like it's in alphabetical order. I don't like that. That would have been fine, I guess, if there were less than 22 agents, but it just looks so crowded. So it's confusing for me. Here's what I did. Looking for some inspiration from other games like Overwatch, Apex, or COD, this is what their agent select screens look like. I liked how Apex separated their agents, so that's what I tried first. I want the design to be flexible, so if Riot adds a new agent, the UI wouldn't look awkward with a missing agent or something. Alright. Still looking a bit crowded to me though. I wish we could get rid of the agent lore stuff, but I'm assuming that's a non-negotiable for Riot. I'm gonna try another version, but rip off Overwatch some more. Okay, looking a little bit better, but what if I rip off Apex? I like both, but we can't have everything, so I'm gonna combine the two, but only adding the things that I like. Alright, I'm done. I'm sure you get the point. You separate the agents to their respective roles, add an icon or some visual indicator showing what the roles are, and yeah. Let's move on to the home screen. I honestly didn't do much. I just rearranged the order of the tabs to what made the most sense to me, and here's how it looked before. Then after I made the changes, I moved the dailies to the top left, I moved the act logo to the middle so it's more obvious, I made the play, career, battle pass, and agents tab the biggest ones since that's what I click the most when I start the game, and I made the rest of the tabs a lot smaller compared to the play, career, battle pass, and agents tabs because it didn't really make sense for me that all of them or most of them were the same size. I don't really have any data to back up the way I arranged everything. It was mainly just personal preference. I didn't really want to go the extra mile and send out a whole ass survey, Again, I wanted the design to be flexible so that if Riot wanted to add another feature, then it wouldn't crowd the screen so much. Now, let's move on to the main screen and why I wanted to do this in the first place. God, is this screen a nightmare for me? But why is it a nightmare? Let's go through it one by one. Firstly, the game mode. There only used to be unrated, competitive, spike rush, deathmatch, and custom games. Now, there are 9 game modes that all fit into that tiny bar on top. Why they decided to keep that is beyond me. Keeping on the topic of crowded bars, the icons on the very top row makes me cross-eyed looking at it. Maybe if the icons were in the home screen, it wouldn't be much of a problem so that, it makes sense on why this icon is or where it goes and stuff. But I remember logging back into the game after a couple weeks of not playing it and seeing all the new tabs and being so confused and why is this here and why is Premiere blurred out? I don't know. Those are my main issues with the screen, but it's been the hardest to come up with a solution for. So, the first thing I ask myself, how do I make it so that the game modes won't feel so crowded on top? At the same time, how do I make it flexible enough so that if Riot wants to add a new game mode, it wouldn't add to all the mess? Well, I guess I could categorize them. So normal games are the long ones, the ones that go up to first to 12. Deathmatch is for deathmatch, and quick games are for the first to 5. The shorter games, swift play, spike rush, escalation, replication, whatever. I didn't know where the custom tab should have gone, but I wanted to add the practice range there, so I separated it into its own category. Before I do any drastic changes to the original UI, here's a simple solution I came up with, keeping in mind that first problem. Not the prettiest, but the simplest thing I could think of. A little drop-down menu for each category. At least then, Riot could add more game modes to their heart's content without removing old game modes. I also rearranged the icons on top to match the home screen. Honestly, I kinda like this design. My favorite one I did so far, but let me just show you the other designs that I came up with. First, I tried to block out the game modes without categorizing them. Then I realized it was too much of a headache because there were too many game modes, so that's when I decided maybe categorizing them would be the better idea. And like I said, I hated the icons because they didn't really make any sense to me, so I got rid of them. And I changed the nav bar completely. The left side are where the game modes would go, plus Premiere. So normal, quick game, deathmatch, custom, and Premiere. Pretty much ripped off COD for this one, and a little bit of Overwatch. I wanted to make another iteration of this, but less intrusive, more focusing on the game modes. So this is the next one I came up with. So in summary, the way I wanted to tackle the main screen's problem was to categorize all the game modes. I could have done a better job with the nav bar, honestly, since I hate it so much. But I wanted to focus on the game modes because that's what Valorant is. Those are all the designs I came up with, and after doing all of this, I don't think I can look at Valorant's UI the same way again. Honestly, I wish there was a way to just customize the UI myself. It's definitely a headache looking at the UI and comparing it to how I redesigned it. And if I were to do this again, I would definitely love to have more data on things. I would definitely do a survey so that I know like which features people are actually using, so I know what to prioritize and all of that technical stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it.